To those protesters today, gate-crashing Jim Chalmers' speech and demanding no more coal, no more gas, they've just been shown up as even greater fools by Donald Trump. Besides, the Treasurer still insisting today we had to move away from coal and gas, even if he didn't quite like the question.
We had a few unexpected guests earlier today, and they were asking you, when will Labor stop approving new coal and gas projects?
Well, I don't think it's a good idea to reward that kind of behaviour by asking their questions for them. What we're trying to do is to strike the right balance, recognising that we can make ourselves an indispensable part of the global net zero economy.
In fact, early today, US President Donald Trump went in exactly the opposite direction, posting that after years of being held captive by environmental extremists, lunatics, radicals and thugs, allowing other countries, in particular China, to gain tremendous economic advantage over us by opening up hundreds of all coal-fired power plants, I am authorising my administration to immediately begin producing energy with beautiful, clean coal. Joining me is Tuesday regular commentator, Nationals frontbencher Matt Canavan, the former Resources Minister. Matt, what an interesting announcement by Donald Trump. It just completes the trifecta. You've got China already building 2 new coal-fired power stations a week. You've got India also building more, not as many, but still building more. Now the US will be building more. Meanwhile, here in Australia, we're almost destroying every one of our remaining ones over the next decade. Why?
Well, Andrew, it's very concerning news. Should be concerning news for all Australians, because already under this Labor government, our nation is deindustrialising before our eyes, and we're now going to get left behind even further on energy costs, on energy competitiveness, and that will destroy what's left of our manufacturing industry unless we turn these things around. I mean, you're right. This is not just about Donald Trump's decision. China is building 162 coal-fired power stations, 161 as we speak, 161 coal-fired power stations. India, 32 coal-fired power stations. Indonesia, 14. Vietnam and the Philippines are building 5 coal-fired power stations each. And now the United States might be joining that party. Not only are we silly and stupid enough to not use our own coal resources while other countries do, we actually send coal to many of those countries to fuel their power stations that they're building. To take our jobs, to take our industries. We've already lost our nickel industry to Indonesia because they're building cheap coal-fired power stations and undermining the cost of production of Australian nickel. How many more industries do we have to lose before our nation wakes up that we are still trying to stay at a party that everyone else has left? It's all very depressing now, this net zero party. All the green bunting's left over the floor. Just like all climate rallies, no one picks up their rubbish. And we're the ones left holding the can here unless we do something about it quickly. I think we should put Australians first because nothing we do is going to change any temperature of the globe. We're not going to change the temperature of the globe one iota by not building a coal-fired power station. But if we do build some new, cheap coal-fired power stations, we just may save manufacturing jobs in this country, bring down the cost of energy and bring down the cost of everyday goods for Australians.
It's amazing. We were told, well, yes, we know that Australia won't make any difference on its own, but we're setting a good example for the rest of the world to follow. We've just mentioned India, US and China. Between them, that's half the world's emissions right there. They're not following our lead. I'm not quite sure who we're trying to impress. The government is instead, though, Matt, trying to get a lot more solar farms built, even though it's unreliable energy. And even though 5 solar farms in Victoria, owned by a company called SunGrow, have been told to shut down until they mow the grass after one started a grass fire. It's a bit alarming if we're, dropping all these solar farms all around our combustible bush.
Well, I just wish we listened to people on the ground, Andrew, who know the risks of bushfires. The people I speak to in rural fire service organisations have been raising these issues for some time about the risk of wind turbines exploding, solar farms, yes, contributing heat and catching, combusting things around it, and batteries, of course, as well, have already caused a number of fires around the country. And none of these warnings seem to be taken seriously, or there's not proper plans put in place. And as it stands, I'd much prefer to have a nuclear power station in my backyard than some of these fire-prone solar factories, battery factories that are just going in willy-nilly without any planning around our country. These are really big risks to our nation. They're destroying so much of our beautiful, pristine, natural environment, and they're not even lowering power prices to boot. I mean, how hopeless was Jim Chalmers' excuse there about his promise to lower power prices by $275? They said that investing in renewable energy would lower your power bills. Instead, your power bills have gone up by triple what they promised to reduce them by. It is an absolute joke, and if we keep doubling down on this failed policy, well, we just meet the definition of insanity, don't we?